We're back with another 5-ingredient recipe. It's a sun-dried tomato and pesto bean soup. It's creamy, rich, and full of flavor. You'll be so impressed at how easily it comes together. And this one's been a long time coming. I've had this jar of pesto sitting in my fridge for, I want to say 3 weeks, probably longer. And this jar of sun-dried tomatoes has also been neglected. The oil inside has literally solidified. I had to revitalize it in some warm water. So today we're making this fridge clearing recipe, and honestly, it's one of the easiest soups I've ever made. Here's what you need. 2 cans of white beans. These are Great Northern, or you can use cannellini beans. They aren't the same, but use what you got. 4 cups of vegetable or chicken broth, and about 4 tablespoons of sun-dried tomato paste, and about 5 tablespoons of pesto and a little olive oil. That's it. Let's start by making the sun-dried tomato paste. I'm using my new immersion blender and finding new ways to use it. It's also what's informing my recipe creation a little bit, but a few quick blitzes and this turns into a nice rich paste. You can of course use a NutriBullet or food processor. Then let's crack open both cans of beans and let's drain it into a bowl. And I'm going to save a little bit of the bean water for later. It's just a little added flavor. And then I'll rinse the beans and we are ready. I'll start by warming up the pot for a minute and then adding about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil in a pot over medium heat. Let that warm up, and then I'm adding both cans of beans. I'm gonna saute that a little bit to develop a little color, and then I'm gonna stir it gently for about 2 minutes. I also like to salt as I go. Then I'm gonna pour in the vegetable broth. I know I said veggie or chicken broth, but I prefer vegetable broth for this soup myself. Give this a gentle stir and let everything come to a low boil. Once it's bubbling, lower the heat and then add 4 tablespoons of the sun-dried tomato paste. Sun-dried tomatoes are intense and the paste is thick, punchy, and it gives this soup real depth. Stir it in until it dissolves into the broth. And then, when ready, add your pesto. Now, I'm using about 5 big and small tablespoons, if that makes sense. Generous tablespoons sometimes, but keep that in mind. Pesto isn't subtle. I used a basil one, that's the one I prefer, but this could also work with a romesco, which is a red pesto made from peppers and almonds. So your soup might have a sweet, nutty flavor. I'll put notes in the description. But this basil pesto gives this soup a fresh herbiness that really plays well with the tomato. Let it simmer gently for about 5 minutes. And you know what? I think I'm gonna add that bean water in because why not? Now we're going to blend, but only part of it. I'm using my immersion blender again, but you can ladle about half the soup into a blender, and I gotta be mindful and not get carried away because honestly, I think I got carried away. But this soup works well smooth and with a little texture. The goal is to really keep some of the beans intact. This is so satisfying, warm, and comforting. The result is a creamy and chunky base thanks to the beans, and it packs a lot of punch thanks to the sun-dried tomatoes and pesto. Don't forget to taste and adjust. I added a little bit of salt and also a squeeze of lemon, which really added a nice brightness that I like. You can use a little vinegar if you don't have lemon, it's totally optional. To serve, I'm adding some pita chips for crunch and some chili onion sprinkle for a little heat. And that's it, 5 ingredients, a full flavored soup that honestly tastes like it took way more effort than it did, and maybe best of all, I finally got to use that jar of pesto. Let me know if you make it, and I'll see you in the next one.